Hello, I am so excited today to be speaking with Regina Bullock, a New York City public school teacher, the founder of Catalyst for Kidney Care, and a kidney recipient. Regina, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you so much for having me, Elaine.
So let's start it all off. Could you just describe for us what it was like during your kidney transplant journey?
So at age 27, I was working out and I was drinking these protein shakes that they were selling at the gym. And unbeknownst to me, I had an underlying condition, and those protein drinks just created a buildup of protein in my kidneys, which ultimately led to me becoming ill. So at 27, I go to my general practitioner and they noticed that I had an excessive amount of protein in my urine. And he sent me to a urologist who then said that there was nothing that they could do for me. I went back to my general practitioner, who then referred me to a nephrologist, who is my nephrologist to this day. And after having a kidney biopsy, it was discovered that IgA nephropathy, a pretty rare autoimmune disease, had been attacking my native kidneys. And it's very uncommon for African American women to have IgA nephropathy. It's typically found in Caucasian and Asian males. And then I did become hypertensive at one point. So my blood pressure was high for years because I was moving closer to end stage renal failure. And in 2015, I really went through a very rough patch where I was having pre-stroke, pre-heart attack symptoms actually at work. I woke up that morning, I took my blood pressure. I did not listen to my body. I pushed myself. I went to work and I just felt worse. I ended up in the ER, and the ER visit ended up becoming ICU, and I was in intensive care for a few days. And I'll never forget the day my nephrologist walked into my hospital room and said, "It's time for you to get listed for a transplant." That was devastating. I was extremely ill, trying to teach virtually, waking up in the middle of the night with the worst restless leg syndrome that you could ever imagine. I had no idea at that point that the toxins were backing up into my bloodstream and literally poisoning me. So finally, when I was able to reach my nephrologist, he pretty much told me, "It's time. We have to put a port in your chest and we have to dialysize you immediately," because I was really suffering for an extended period of time, for months. I could not sleep. It was really dis-ease, the word disease broken down. There was dis-ease in my body, and I refused to eat. I had gotten to a point where I had a metallic taste in my mouth. I had completely lost my appetite. I had to force myself to drink water. Not to mention, I contracted COVID March of 2020 in the heart of the pandemic, and it was a grueling, grueling process where there was nothing that I could do but take Tylenol for the body aches. There was no vaccine at the time. COVID definitely attacked my kidneys and decreased my kidney function even further. Found out that I had lost like 93% of my kidney function. It was a bona fide miracle that I was still alive. So I went on dialysis, and it was very, very difficult. The social worker at the dialysis center came up to me one day. I was sitting on the chair going through treatment, and he said to me, "Have you ever thought about switching hospitals?" And he suggested NYU Langone, which is where we both had surgery. I was transplanted and you donated a kidney. And when I tell you, it was the most expedited, efficient process that I could have ever asked for. So I literally ended up leaving that hospital, the previous hospital, and being listed in February, somewhere around President's Day. And 3 weeks later, I received a call and I was transplanted. So that just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, especially in New York. The wait list is very long, but I am a recipient of a miracle, and that's the only way that I could explain it. I know that was a lot.
Oh, but I'm just so happy that this all worked out for you. Tell us about the launching of Catalyst for Kidney Care. Where did that idea come from? And yeah, just tell us how that all is working.
Amazingly, Catalyst was really born out of the necessity to share my story. One of the resident doctors at NYU Langone, she looked at me and she said, "You have what we need." Really spoke to my heart. And she said, in the African American community, there is a need because by the time many people of color get to the OR, in many cases, they're so far along that treatment is very limited, and some people, their health is at a place where they can't be transplanted because their health is so poor. And that's heartbreaking to me because with all of the technology we have now, we have excellent hospitals. I don't think that anyone should perish waiting for a kidney. And I know that that's an initiative that you are definitely passionate about and working on with several different organizations, including your own. But it just doesn't make sense to me that we are walking around with a spare that we could share, right? Share your spare. I just began to brainstorm and I began to make videos. And in making those videos, I realized I have a story to tell. I am so grateful that I made that step to say to my doctor, hey, I'm not feeling well. I'm always fatigued. I'm too young to feel this way. What's going on with me? And I pressed my general practitioner to find out what's going on and to dig deeper. So I felt the need to share that, to be an advocate for your own health and wellness. That is like one of my buzz phrases. If you feel something, say something, at Catalyst. And I definitely have a passion for this, and I want to share what I've learned. I want to share how to navigate your health journey through these portals and through just your medical team. And if they're not working out for you and they're dismissive and their bedside manner is just not what you need as a patient, you have options. At Catalyst for Kidney Care is having an advocate for your health luncheon. I have a cousin of mine, he's a bodybuilder and his creatinine was spiking. And he realized that all of these protein drinks that he was drinking was really not good for his kidney function. So just cutting that out of his diet, his creatinine has gone down.
How would someone get in touch with Catalyst for Kidney Care?
Right now, the best way to reach us would be Instagram. So it's Catalyst for Kidney Care on Instagram, all one word. Our mission is, yes, so it's prevention through education. So I would like to end with this, and I know it sounds morbid, but I'm pained when I think about organs that go into the ground that could have helped save someone else's life, right? And I think about children, I think about young people, I think about the elderly too. Tina Turner, her husband gave her his kidney and it gave her 8 more years of life. And he said, it gave me 8 more years with my wife. So think about it in that regard and consider being a donor.
Beautiful. I just want to mention that we don't need to be matches. With the National Kidney Registry, if you want to give, and then you could get a voucher for a person and then find that ideal match. I remember Dr. Segev speaking at the symposium about the importance of matching. If there's that good match, the kidney will last far longer. And so I know you got a really good match because you were at NYU Hospital. And I'm just so delighted that they continue to provide you with great care. If only everyone could have that level of care in the country, I think we could all be in a much better place. But thank you so much, Regina, for your time and your compassion and your eloquence in describing what is really a harrowing experience that thankfully resulted in a life-saving transplant. I would love to be a student in your middle school classrooms. I just imagine I could listen to you all day. You just
Oh,
really have a beautiful voice,
thank
and I'm
you.
just so excited for us to work together to end the kidney shortage. So thanks so much.
Yes. Thank you so much, Elaine, and thank you for being a donor and for all of the work that you continue to do. Thank you so much.
Enjoy today. Bye.